Excuse me. Oh, hey. Tonse. Hey, Tonse. Welcome back to, welcome to the Indigenous Wellness Training Society's episode 8. It is Monday, November 8th, 2021. Here we are in the beautiful downtown Vancouver with Jenna Poorman in the Creole building, 5th floor.
It's nice to be here.
Yes, we're missing music here. Let's go. We got, oh yes. My mind goes blank. Today we're focusing on...
mental health crisis.
There we go, the mental health crisis.
Time.
Yes.
Connecting back to our elders and the land. How could we do that?
And we have a millennial in the house. Let's hear your take on mental health issues in this day and age.
In this day and age, it is very, very prevalent, especially like during a pandemic. There's a lot of time for reflection, and it is tough as like Indigenous people dealing with all these colonial constructs and like disadvantages that just come with being Indigenous, and
yes,
especially in a time like this, it's new.
Yeah. To begin with, mental health, they say, and I'm just copying it, but it's an integral part of our overall wellness. Mental health is defined as a state of well-being in which every individual realizes his or her potential, can cope with the normal stresses of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and can contribute to him or her in the community. With that said, stable mental health. You know, if it's everybody's got some issues in life, like I deal with. Maybe getting down on myself, depression or stuff like that, but just being aware of it and dealing with it. You know, it's always going to be there. It's always going to be there. Any traumatic stuff's happened in your life, it's how you deal with it in the future. And just being aware.
Yeah.
And I guess as a youngster, as yourself, millennials. How do you feel about? Did you ever reach out to elders in your community? Let me first backtrack. How did you start this journey? Where are you from, and where are you now?
Oh, okay. So, I am from Port Alberni, BC, on Vancouver Island. Lived there my whole life. Dealt with quite a bit of trauma growing up, and a lot of confusion about who I am, who I should be, and it's been a journey to come here and reconnecting. I found
Reconnecting with what?
Reconnecting with like culture and disconnecting, I guess, from the colonial constructs, and like an everyday world, like having a 9-to-5 job, capitalism.
Well, life shouldn't be based on having a 9-to-5 job.
No, that's what I'm saying, is like disconnecting from that and connecting with yourself and my culture. That has been extremely helpful. So how I got here, reconnecting with my dad and doing a lot of inside work for myself.
How did you reconnect with your father?
We reconnected through sports, I think. It was through sports.
He sounds like an awesome man, that guy.
Yeah, he does. But
I'm his dad. I'm a dad. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, I am the father of this millennial project in the making. But anyways.
No, and I do realize that both of us have endured lots of things, and it's not your fault. It's not my fault, and it's not anyone's fault, but just the cards we're dealt with as Indigenous people. And a lot of me accepting that has been, like I said, just the disconnecting from the colonial ways and finding what our people did and how they lived their lives, what their values are. And I'm very fortunate to lived on a reserve with multiple cultural teachings. And
What kind of cultural teachings are they?
I went to an elementary school, a First
Oh,
Nations
let's backtrack.
elementary
What nation?
school.
What nation?
It's a shot First Nations on Vancouver Island. A little school called Hehopayak.
What language? What culture?
Yeah, so what that school does is
What?
it-
Let me explain. Like the father Nuu-chah-nulth?
yeah, so like what that school does, they teach Nuu-chah-nulth.
What is Nuu-chah-nulth versus Ohio? Or
Nuu-chah-nulth is, I guess, like a group of different bands. So it'd be like generalizing, like Coast Salish, there's Nuu-chah-nulth, there's
yeah. So Nuu-chah-nulth, in the Nuu-chah-nulth Tribal Council, you have how many tribes? How many reserves?
I'm gonna say under 10.
14.
14? Damn, you know more than me.
I'm asking you.
No, see, like, I'm not sure. I'm really more familiar with
Okay.
the Tishot part of Nuu-chah-nulth,
Which is part of the Nuu-chah-nulth Council. For example,
Yeah,
I'm from Saskatchewan, Treaty 4, Kwakatus. Kwakatus is part of the Touchwood Hills Agency people. We have 16 tribes within that within the Touchwood Hills people. So that's the same thing as the Nuu-chah-nulth Tribal Council, which is representing
Vancouver
Island, Port Alberni, T-Shot, Ohio,
all of southern Vancouver Island, basically.
all of that, Vancouver Island. So,
and then the further you go up north, it's more so like Coast Salish and different.
yeah. So you're focused on like basically Vancouver Island and the West Coast, your families and stuff. You have a large dealing and you focus on family and.
Yeah, one part of that I'm going to Hehopayak. One thing they really ingrained was Isak, and that means respect. Respecting not only our fellow peers, our elders, but even the Mother Nature. We would go for ceremony, get cedar branches, and you would talk to the tree and explain what you're going to use the medicine for. You thank it, and you don't take a lot, you take what you need, and it'll get back to you as protection, but not if you're reaping it, like taking more than you need, which is, I feel like, is a lot different than, I guess, like capitalist type of ways.
So,
and like,
do you feel that these traditional teachings and stuff like that can be used to help you deal with the stresses of life today? For example, like instead of going to a doctor and asking for a pill, you can go to the bush and cut down some cedar and work with that and pray.
I do see the benefits for both of like connecting back to your land and reaching out for help, whether it be through like a doctor or your own community, and just talking about what's going on. Another teaching that was ingrained was Hishuk Ish Sawak, which means everything is one and we're all equal. None of us is greater than one another. And in that sense, it put a lot of things into perspective. Like, even though I'm anxious and I'm like depressed or have like mental illnesses, that doesn't make me any less than anyone else. And through culture, it really helped amplify
So my taking away from this is that what I see is you can utilize the teachings of the elders, which you were talking about right now, which is the teachings of the elders,
Yeah.
and help you in your everyday life, including your mental health.
Mm.
Just to be aware
Yeah.
and deal with life on life's terms in that way.
Mm-hmm.
With some of the teachings of that.
For sure.
I
And
understand.
it connecting with elders and just listening to them, it just feels right. And there are elders. We came from them, and everything they know came from who they know, and our people knew best. We didn't live in this colonial
Time.
yeah. And that's where I feel like a lot of our disconnect comes from, is getting caught up in modern day stuff and not caring about who we are as people, and just getting lost in today's world.
Well, there you have it. 51 years old, and I'm getting schooled by a millennial that's under the age of 22 years of age. There's something new every day.
Yeah. And it's been a great journey, like disconnecting from, I guess, the colonial ways, and being okay with not, I guess, being as ahead as other people my age, but I feel a lot further ahead in a sense that I know who I am, and that I see the world not in like a money way,
Yes.
Like I don't know how to put it into words.
Well, you just did it. Like for many of us individuals, like First Nations that have dealt with, such as myself, with post-traumatic stress disorder, in since a young age, since a very young age, it's always going to be there.
Yeah.
It's how you deal with it in life, and then the sooner that you can understand and deal with this stuff in life, I think the better you have at having a happier life and a more fulfilled life, because you know what's wrong, and you can deal with it in a good way.
Mm-hmm. And if you keep running away from it, it's not going to go anywhere.
There you go. We'll just make it worse. Because you just might run into a 2-4 pack of Budweiser, and that'll be lights out after that. You never know. Deal with it head on. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
Oh, we need some music. No, I'm just kidding. There you go. But anyways, yeah, so here we go. Dealing with life on life's terms in the world that we are in today, with the COVID crisis, pandemic, still in the making. What are we in? Stage 3 in the world's, in Canada's phase? We're in phase 3. 4 phases.
There's 4 phases. I don't know.
We're in phase 3 right now, which is recovery, and
we're recovering right now.
Well, yeah. Oh man, I better look up my notes here. I'm not only having a conversation with you, I'm having a conversation with other people that are listening here, and let's see. Well, yeah. So, what am I getting at here? Just a little. Trauma. Youth. Connecting to our elders. Let me get back to that. Yes. How are you feeling about trauma?
Trauma's trauma. It's poopy to deal with, but it's always going to be a part of you, like you were saying, and it's something that happened. And if you,
it's just how you react to it in life.
Yeah, and if you don't deal with it in the right way, it's going to keep coming at you. And I noticed a lot in the non-native world, like mental health is kind of stigmatized. Even so in the native world too, mental health, like getting help is often.
Oh yeah, like what's wrong with you, or FAS, fetal alcohol syndrome? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, maybe not that, but like,
you're
on. Like personally, like I had family members ask me, "Oh, you're on antidepressants," and then just give me like weird looks and look at me like I'm some kind of maniac. But I do feel that getting help, whether it be spiritual help or medical help from like medical professionals, there's no shame in that.
There is no shame, because
you're better
self-medicating and saying that you don't have a problem is actually worse.
No, and like self-diagnosis is not the way to go. These people know best. And I don't know, when you know better, you do better.
Knowledge is power, in a way.
Yeah, so like once you've healed yourself, it creates like a ripple effect for everyone around you.
So do you think that with all your trauma and the PTSD that you have gone through in your life, that that you're aware of it?
Oh yeah, I've been aware of it from a young age. I've always felt it. It's always been there, and I know it's not. I knew it wasn't my fault. I knew it wasn't my parents' fault. I knew, we're all the world is kind of mocked right now. Even like.
So what do you suggest? What would you give an idea?
I suggest that we all heal ourselves. We all start that journey of healing. So you could. Because
if you can't heal yourself, how are you going to help other people?
Yeah. And
yeah, true that.
Like, I don't know, once you heal yourself, you go about life in a different way, and you see things differently, and it's.
There's people out there that have gone 30, 40 years in their life with all this trauma, and they never dealt with it, and it just gets worse and worse, and they just keep drinking more and more, and hiding themselves behind bottles and drugs.
Yeah, they haven't.
It's all the traumatic stress that they've gone through.
You've gotta want help, though. That's the thing, and I do get how people can fall into that kind of like addiction and stuff, and it is so sad to see, because they were little kids too at some point, and that they're still hurting, and they're drowning something out.
Yeah.
And they just gotta process it. But I know it's not as easy as it sounds just to like process it, but it takes a lot, and maybe they're not ready yet.
Yeah. Some stuff is so traumatic that they can't get out of it, but yeah. And with that, I have, there's hope.
There is hope.
If you give yourself a chance, there is hope. Anybody that can do it. I mean, anybody that's been through the worst can come through with a better positive response. You just have to reach out. And I think that's, like we were talking earlier on I've been doing this pandemic stuff since day one, and been in this working, and I don't know. I think that in the end that it does. This is taking a big dent on everybody's mental health, well-being, and it still has. It's going to affect everybody for the next years to come, and it's just how we deal with it in the future. Life won't be the same, but at least we can carry on and have some sort of normalcy, and maybe have some fun again.
Yeah, and I think that all starts with you. You gotta control yourself. If like the world is so chaotic, like right now, you gotta find that peace. You're gonna have to be that peace for yourself, because it is so chaotic out here. It is so unpredictable.
Yes, there you go. Find peace for yourself. Find peace for yourself. You can help others. You help others and make it a better world.
Yeah.
And with that, Rambling Man Jackson. Jackson, in the limelight in the background.
What's up?
Any final words? Anything you want to put in there, young fella?
Maybe, so you seem to know a little bit of teachings and stuff like that. Did you just pick that up on? Or, because, so we have the elders and we have the youth, and I don't know how we reconnect them,
Yeah.
We spent 2 years one time reconnecting them, and it was great, like breaking down those barriers and stuff, but I don't know where does the teachings come from, and like, so if the elders or old ones, I guess, are in their traumas, and then how can we help them like overcome those and really focus on the youth, because that's our future or something.
Yeah, I get that. I didn't take that into consideration. Elders finally healing, so they can connect to youth, and not just youth connecting to elders. Yeah. And I think that's gonna be big too, because a lot of elders are stubborn, and you know, why would they want to change right now? But like they're so old, but it is so important if they can connect to that part of them, you know, that cultural part back.
Us old guys are looking at you like, what the heck? What are we gonna just get?
Maybe I'm wording it wrong, but I didn't take that into perspective. Like elders might not be open to that, and how do we get them?
Yeah, that's the
connect.
question. See, maybe those guys, you just put them on the back burner and go with people that want to do it. I don't know.
I think it all starts with like introspection and like working on yourself and finding like your roots and like where you come from. You know, because and like it be for me anyway, when I found out my roots, it was so much easier to talk to an elder and be interested in learning about more of our culture and where they came from and their stories, and they're taking their I don't want to say mistakes, but taking their lessons or taking their life lessons and then learning something from it and then applying it to my own. And it is very, very eye-opening to connect with elders. They have a lot of knowledge. But like you guys were saying, how do we...
That is the question. How do you connect these people and get them willing and to come out and participate? That's coming up in the future. Let's work on that one.
Yeah, I think it can be totally done.
Yeah. Like I say, awesome. Cool. There you have it. One millennial view. Thank you for coming out there, Jenna.
Oh, it's been a pleasure.
Jolene Jordan.
Yeah.
And with that,
I shall say chew.
Bye-bye in New Toronto language.
Oh, it would be chew.
Thank you.
We're saying bye to everyone.
Chew.
Chew.